We've done a few pieces on the economy, and here's another couple that pulls it into a more clear perspective of how we're failing badly. And this survey, recent one done by United Way Alice Project, shows many Americans are still struggling to afford a basic middle class life. They're struggling to afford any life, never mind some class distinction, which is bollocks anyway. And nearly 51 million households, not people, households, don't earn enough to afford a monthly budget that includes housing, food, childcare, healthcare, transportation and cell phone. This is according to the study released on Thursday by the United Way Alice Project. Essentially, that's 43% of households in the United States cannot afford the basics. Now, the report says the figure includes 16.1 million households living in poverty. The number of people listed on the US debt clock, the real figure, is 37,696,000. As well as the 34.7 million families that the United Way has dubbed ALICE, Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed. This group makes less than what is needed to survive in the modern economy. Despite seemingly positive economic signs, the ALICE data shows that financial hardship is still a pervasive problem. Of course it is. That was according to Stephanie Hoops, the project's director. Now, California, New Mexico and Hawaii have the largest share of struggling families at 49% each. North Dakota has the lowest at 32%, probably because many up there are self-sufficient. And many of these folks are the nation's childcare workers, home health aides, office assistants and store clerks who work low-paying jobs and have little savings, the study noted. Some 66% of jobs in America pay less than $20 an hour. 2/3 of jobs. And the annual household survival budget for a family of 4, including 1 infant and 1 preschooler, in the last recorded data of 2016 was $85,000 a year. This would require an hourly wage of $42.46. This is what's been happening. It's just a steady erosion. You know, they've increased technology which was available many, many years ago. You know, no technology is new. I watched an old recording of NASA, Never a Straight Answer, SS Spies, on the space travel and rockets and all kinds of other things that would go, satellites that were going up in the space race, or the fake space race between America and Russia, which America clearly lost badly, if that was a race. And it showed you, I think it was a Mercury launch in 1965, and there was an issue, an onboard issue with that particular venture. And a guy came out of his side room and into the main room of the computer room that houses all the data. He brought in a laptop. 1965. Most people, because we're used to seeing it, will not equate Hang on a minute. He's just brought in a laptop that was 30 years ahead of time. And this is what I keep telling people. Technology is not the future, it's the past. There is no new technology. There never was. It's all been here before. Lots of it built by humans, not ETs, humans. So the average wage for a family of 4 with 1 infant and a preschooler was $85,000 a year, which would require an hourly wage of $42.46. So how are the people on $9, $10, $11 an hour going to survive? Clearly they don't. And this is why we need to change. Millennials are doing far worse financially than generations before them, with student loans, a new thing added in, rising rents, which is deliberate, higher healthcare, which is a misnomer in and of itself. They're not interested in making you healthy, they're interested in selling you drugs. Pushing the average net worth for millennials below $8,000. The net worth of Americans between ages 18 to 35 has dropped by 34% since 1996. And this demographic is paying more for education, which is a waste of time, and such basics as food and transportation, while incomes have largely flatlined. Education expenses have climbed 65% in the past decade. Food costs have jumped 26%. Healthcare 21%. Housing 16%. I think that's low. I think it's jumped a lot more than that. And transportation has rose 11%. And there are now expenses that most consumers didn't have to account for 20 years ago, including smartphones and data plans. Meanwhile, the salary for the average worker has only gone up $2,900 since the year 2000. $152 a year. And yet food's gone up 26%, health 21%, housing 16%, transport 11%, and education 65%. In the past decade, the nation's highest earners, householders making $100,000 or more, watched their incomes rise 1,305% more than those in households making less than $50,000 a year. Did they give any of it back? No. That's why I said with the People's Club, if you're going to do it to make fantastic, ridiculous earnings, you're not understanding what we're trying to get across here. It's need, not greed. People don't have to earn, or have no need to earn over 100 to 150,000 a year. It's all greed. When people are struggling on less than 20,000 a year, we have to balance it. And that starts not with them, because if you wait for them to change things, we'll wait forever. It starts with us.